My buddy Dash for this episode of Double Take. Dave, I just said joined by Dash, but we're joined by Dash
Talking
and
in
Dave.
the third person. That's
The way
weird.
The way you feel.
Folks, happy Monday Eve, our Sassulolo Juve Eve, or if you're a Detroit fan, one of the most euphoric Mondays ever because suck it, Matt Stafford. I'm joined here with Dave, even though you guys
I don't know what you're talking about.
because Dave doesn't follow anything outside of Juventus. No, I'm just
That's a lie. I just don't follow American hand football.
American hand football, or hand egg, as the experts would call it.
Oh man, it's another Monday, isn't it? I'm doing all right though. How you doing?
Recovering. I got this
Recovered.
stupid sinus bug, so if I sound funny or choppy, it's not my internet. I just suck today.
Yeah, you did cut. I was like, what happened? I think your first sentence got cut short. So internet's been tripping.
Again?
Well, yours.
I know, but it's
Yeah,
just
I guess so. Yeah.
for some reason I just guess StreamYard just doesn't want to let me talk today, which is fine. I guess
Well,
it's the only thing
make
that'll
it up.
put me
I'm
on.
sure you will. So that being said, let's get talking. Not a lot of movement, really. There's a couple big things, of course, but in terms of all these wild rumors that may have been floating about the past few days, today is relatively calmer waters in that sense. Let's see. David's saying, if any of you got 2-3 hours spare, let's go Buffalo. Poor Steelers need an offense.
God, that game is such a wash right now. Holy hell, the Steelers suck.
And your beard's coming.
It is. I wish I had it.
I trimmed this weekend.
I wish I had it Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that's why especially I don't chop her down in the winter, because it's just that extra layer.
I do want to say, hey, I was out in the frigid tundra and I was still available to talk to you goobers. So
Tundra?
it was a tundra.
You were still in Michigan. And there he is. He's cut. Maybe because he's coming in from the so-called tundra.
Yeah, see, look, I froze. It's the tundra. Apparently wires can't work where
Speaking of Frozenone.
Yes. Yes.
What? Did you catch any of that game?
I saw bits of it. I was just like, wow.
I just saw the scores now. I worked a little bit later today, unfortunately, so I kind of came flying in, and I'm like, what?
They pretty much played the same way they played against us in the Coppa Italia. Like, it seems like they've kind of lost their mojo.
Yeah, I don't know. Beppe had done something. He's poking fun here in his Telegram, which if you don't have Beppe's Telegram, what you can do is join our Discord, which has a Beppe's Telegram link channel, whatever. So you can just join everyone's whatever side project that we run. Because we just like being different. We're all just different. But let me pull it up here real quick. He says, you remember how much Juventus and Allegri were criticized when Di Francesco said Barrenechea told him the training sessions were too intense for him? Well, I don't know. Did they just burn out? Were they too intense?
Well, yeah, that's the risk you run, right? With coaches that do intense training regimens to get their players' intensity levels up, and you run the risk of burnout, and that's kind of what Frosinone looked like. I mean, you conceded 9 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, not great. Not great. Ellen's joining the podcast here tonight. Yes.
Bork.
Yeah.
She can't even hear me. You have the headphones on anyway, so I was just gonna try to talk to her and dog.
Okay. And then everyone else there, like, what's going on?
Hey, what the hell's going on? Why is
this guy's talking dog?
He's barking. So, yeah, I mean, like Dave says here in the comments, now people understand that these guys are ball busters. You game plan for them, and now it's up to the youngsters. And that was kind of the argument that I made Saturday, right? Where I said it's easy to give a coach his flowers when everything is going well. Let's see when things go to shit, and let's see how they adjust.
Do you get the layer in this joke?
I know.
He just layered another one through that.
I clearly, yes. I told you. I said nobody besides Vlad can drop random one-liners and have them stick as well as they do. It's just Vlad's.
Man.
It's his calling card.
It's
No
great.
one does it better than Vlad.
The Arctic cold wave is no joke. So North America is going through this Arctic snap. I don't know if Europe is. Is Europe getting it too?
I don't think so. No, it's just this. It's called Jerry, Winter Storm Jerry. I didn't know they named winter storms. Like if you saw Buffalo was covered in snow and they had their fans. They're like, "Hey, you want to come watch this Buffalo game? Come shovel the snow at the stadium." And I shit you not, a ton of people shoveled that entire stadium.
Oh yeah, a bunch of fucking drunk dads from Buffalo, 100%. They're like, "Hun, I got work to do. The kids are on you tonight. I gotta do a community service."
Well, the funny thing about it was, so they were ordered to shovel the snow onto the seats. So like the fans are sitting on snow right now during the game, and they're having snowball fights with each other, like mid game. Like that is, that can't get any more Canadian than it is right there. Like, could you imagine? Hey there, Shorley, row 32, section 60. Why don't you buggeroo with this one, eh? And I just start seeing just an absolute onslaught of snowballs. Like it is hilarious. I thought they would get free tickets, but apparently it was just $20 an hour.
I guess either way, yeah, that's decent if you're still getting paid. And Ellie coming in. How's it going? You just missed Ellie. She's here, but she did make her appearance.
Ellie the dog and Ellie the person is here.
Yeah, this is why we have a thing. Ellie and I. Yes,
Ellie and I.
Because of Ellie.
David says, by the way, I like the Django Unchained pun there, Dave. Is Djalo Unchained?
I
guess I must have missed this one while I was sleeping.
Thumbnail. You didn't see the thumbnail?
I saw the thumbnail. I didn't know because I was reading the Discord trying to keep myself up to date for the news, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, is it done? Is it done? Is it not done? Is it done? Because like I was just seeing like multiple like things of the article, but with different sources, and I was just kind of like, your head's in a fog, and I'm just like, what? But I guess that's done. I think Lazar is done too for the summer.
Yeah.
Prince, like I don't know if it's true or not, but like I saw two things.
Yeah, I mean nobody's really 100% on anything. I think if
that's why
Totali's cooking, right? He's simmering. He doesn't have to rush this plate. He's gonna wait until the end of the month if he has to make this move. It's just to make sure it's right, or he won't make it.
Dude, $20 an hour is more money than they get in the regular jobs. It's more money than we get here.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
that. That is true.
We get 20 cents or not even 2 pennies of you. Bone says, "What to do, guys?"
I haven't heard somebody say that in a long time.
I know. Reno
Rio
Zed comes in saying, "Buonasera, what's happening, guys?"
Of course, if you missed the last show, he was the stand-in for Dash. So once again, thank you very much, Reno. And you can always check him out on his channel as well for a little extra Parmesan on the Juve take with his sexy accent. So
as Vlad, according to Vlad.
Yeah, Vlad, I think is man crushing on Reno.
I think so. Vincenzo says, "Who's that Djalo riding on that nad?"
On that nad.
I think it's a thumbnail. It's probably referring to something on the thumbnail.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, I've been a little bit AWOL. I don't know. I haven't been too much up to date, but I think so. Kind of giving you guys a lowdown on what we'll talk about today. Obviously, we'll talk about some of the transfer rumors and stories that have been breaking through.
It's also Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. When I click the start button, Windows told me that, so I think we should just mention.
Yeah, it's an actual holiday here in the U.S.
It is. Is it a holiday for you today?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. So we've got a couple of things. So we've got it's a line from Jingo. I can't think today. I'm sorry.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah, and I haven't watched that movie in so long. So it's just 4 shows in a row with a movie quote. This time it was at me, not the other way around. So Vincenzo, there you go.
So let me see if I can do it. Like, Who's that Djalo riding on that Nad?
Oh, yes. Okay. That makes way more sense now.
Who's that Djalo riding on that Nad, motherfucker?
So I kid you not, guys. Like I wish I was better at this whole thing, but I did spend most of the day formatting my computer because it was just on the fritz. So I did a complete clean sweep, and of course I screwed it up a couple times. Like it was the first time I've done this. Like I've been doing this since I was a child, but I still screw it up. I was gonna do the face, like I was gonna recreate the movie poster, but
That would have been funny.
It would have. I just did not have enough time left in the day to make that happen. So I'm sorry. I'll try to do better next time. Hopefully there is an opportunity with him coming to the team now where we can make this happen.
Yeah, could you imagine if he like features in a game and does really well, and then he's just
he's Unchained. Exactly. I'm gonna roll with it. We do like to have pet names for our players. I was just gonna go with like Yellow because Djalo is. It's almost the same pronunciation.
Jangling Djalo.
But now I found the Django thing, right?
Or can we just call him Samuel Jackson? I forgot the name. What's the name of the character that Samuel L. Jackson plays in that movie?
That's Django. Yeah.
Is Django?
Yeah.
We
both need to watch this movie again.
I gotta watch it again. I'm gonna see if I can get like a pun. Obviously, it's gonna be friendly.
Everyone here,
a slur or anything.
Listen, everyone now, your homework, me, Dash included, we're all watching Django Unchained. We have to like re-up on the nomenclature, on the puns, on the inside jokes. Yeah. So that's our homework. But for now, again, because we keep on stalling, it's fine. Because technically we're talking about Djalo.
Yeah, just bring it because it is a here we go.
It is a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Absolutely. So 3.5 plus add-ons. You're shaking your head.
Huh? No. Something else. I was trying to hold a sneeze.
Oh, it's like, no, you're wrong.
Like, no.
Did I miss?
Guys,
I going off my top of my head. And I'm like,
I caught, so context, Saturday night, I was out doing some stuff, covering the storm and stuff like that. So helping with restorations because the storm really, really smoked us. So I may have caught a sinus bug during the snow during the storm, during my workout in the storm. So yesterday and a little bit this morning, I'm out of commission. I'm not at, top form. I'm kind of having like a Michael Jordan flu game right now where I'm broadcasting while I'm sick. Because again, I think it's important to talk to you guys, and it kind of sound bad. If I told Dave earlier, Dave would have been like, take the day off. And I don't run that way.
That or Dave, I just called you a bitch.
That too. One of the two. So I am on electrolytes and some other shit right now. So if I pass out,
plants crave.
My bad. No, right. So
movie. That's another movie quote.
Are we going to talk about Djalo, or are we going to talk about
movie quotes?
Djalo. We're like 12 minutes in.
Here we go. Verbal agreement in place. Formal contracts are being prepared, then time to sign. Contract until June 28th. Lille to receive €3.5 million fixed fee and 10% sell-on clause. Medical currently booked on Wednesday.
So one of the things that I want to talk about, Djalo, it's not sick. I was gambling. Yeah, says the one that bet the Rams last night, Vlad. Yeah, hey Dash, I'm sorry. I don't mean to disappoint you, but I'm picking the bro. I do have Vapor Rub right here. I actually rubbed some Vapor Rub before the show. So yeah, Europeans use that too, Frankie. Gosh, you guys are distracting the hell out of me. I'm trying. All right. So one of the reasons why I'm happy that we signed Djalo is prior to his injury. I don't know how much it's going to translate, but Djalo was one of the fastest center backs, speed and sprinting wise. One of the concerns that Juve have is we have slow center backs. He says, I'm happy. Me too. Djalo being able to give you that speed and that other dimension to your back three, again, pending that he made a full recovery, a proper recovery, right? I think helps your defense a lot. He's an aggressive defender. Pace is huge because he's got that kind of pace in him. So having that there, I think it's going to be great. Do I expect him to do anything crazy this year? No, not really. I don't. I doubt it. But he's that depth piece that once you start getting into more competitions next season, or you want to potentially change the way that you look formation-wise, because I am still holding on to that prediction.
I'm starting to believe that too, just with some of the rumors and some of the moves.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dash Feza, and I'm telling you a spoiler, not a prediction, that Juve will switch into a back four.
They might. It's
See
kind of
it?
looking like it.
Ah, man. I love when I see the future.
I wasn't convinced. I didn't say it's like, no, it's not going to happen. I was just like, I just need to see a bit more. I'm not quite convinced. And then
No,
he's
I know, I
starting
got
to
you.
move that direction.
That's how I felt about the Cowgirls, and then Frankie's squad, the Green Bay Packers, absolutely took them over, bent them over, and made Jerry Jones cry. It was incredible. And Frankie, if you guys beat San Francisco, I'm just gonna call it. It's gonna be a Green Bay Lions game, NFC Championship. I would love to see that.
And could I say another 23-year-old as well? Because I don't. I know I'm just like
Yes.
completely ignoring NFL talks. I don't know anything, but he's another 23-year-old. Like all of these guys were born the same year. A lot of them, right? They're all growing up together.
And he's also ridiculously tall, just kind of like how people are saying it there.
190 centimeters, which in freedom fries, feet inches, 6 feet, 2 inches, 2 and 51/64 inches because fuck decimals.
Yeah, clearly, apparently. But look, it's a tall, fast defender. I think that's a great addition. Obviously, I'm not sitting here saying he is a franchise player. He is important for everything. No. You bring him in right now, let him get healthy, let him get accustomed, because it's not like we're dying for a center back. Like, for example, if we had a huge gaping hole in the center back position and we needed one and Djalo is the answer, I would be a little bit disappointed. I'd be like, I don't know how I feel about that. But right now,
Yeah,
you're putting him in and you're letting him incubate. You're letting him warm up a little bit. You're letting him cook in a sense. So you're trying to get that nice sauteed flavor out of Djalo, if you kind of understand it. Like, you just don't throw it in raw.
whiskey
So,
saute.
Whiskey saute. There
Ooh,
we go.
baby.
So I'm happy with the move because it's a little bit more towards the longer term. Am I still kind of like, I'd like to see a midfielder? I think the good news for a lot of Juventini that are breathing a sigh of relief is that apparently Jordan Henderson talks have officially broke down because of salary and contractual obligations.
Oh, really? Who would have thought?
Oh, wouldn't have thought of that?
Coming off 19 million euro a year. Who would have thought
Believe,
that might be an issue?
it's everybody said it on Saturday. They're like, the only way that happens if the Saudis pay like 95% of his salary. That's the only way it would work. One of the reasons why Djalo, and I think Frankie hits it here on the comment, and same thing with Mr. Vled, Weah was one of the big key indicators or big key factors with the negotiations with Djalo, because he told Djalo, come here, not over there to the other side of Milan.
Together.
They did. And Djalo, I believe Djalo and Weah played on the same side with each other. I'm not too sure, but look, I'm happy. It's a great move. Definitely, because we've never had fast defenders, because the last 3 big center backs we had were Chiellini, Bonucci, and Barzagli. And those guys, if they push too forward, they would get cooked because, in contrary to belief to the Cancinato fans, essentially, when you have players like Djalo and Weah and etc. coming in as your defenders, that means you want to start playing with a high line, which is a little bit more offensive football, because right now you can't really do that successfully, because if you throw Danilo, Bremer, and Gatti all the way forward, those guys are a little bit slow and you get caught out on the counter quite quickly. So I think Djalo is the idea that it's going to start moving towards what we're thinking of. Question for me, Dash, Djalo and Berna will be the 2 players we bring in for this transfer mercato. I'm okay with that.
Come on, Jeff.
I don't know. Are we bringing in Berna?
I don't think so.
I
really don't. As it looks right now from the Toronto papers, is him and Insigne have been told to suck it up, get ready, new season's upon us. Let's
get him. Soak it up there, bud. Get ready. Get yourself some oats, and we'll get right back to it.
He's an Englishman, the coach, so.
All right, Benedeschi, we're going to stop playing some football again, and you can stop taking champagne bottles and showering Dusan Vlahovic with your white creamy sauce, or champagne, I meant. And you can get back over here to Toronto, and we can start playing again.
He was the guy that coached the national team there at the World Cup.
That guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel so
Name's
bad for
escaping me
Toronto.
now. TFC coach. I'm so bad with names. John Herdman.
Yeah. So I think for me, I still think, yeah, Djalo is great. I still think possibly an additional midfield signing, unless we're really going to put our chips in Meretti and Hans, which yeah, I'm fine with. I don't have an issue with it, but I do think possibly another number 8 would help, or a physical guy to kind of, take a little bit of the load off Rabiot if something happens. Because in all honesty, if we're playing against a top quality side and we don't have Rabiot on the pitch, I am concerned. I am a little bit concerned. Not that I have an issue. Like, I'm not saying that, this team is built through Rabiot and yada, yada, yada. I am a little bit concerned because Hans would get physically beaten. Moretti would get physically beaten as well. So that's my one thing, because I think Rabiot covers up for a lot of mistakes that Kostic makes sometimes defensively as well, too. So if you miss that, you're going to start getting attacked on the left side a lot more frequently, and I think that's one of our biggest issues right now is the left-sided attack. So people are telling me Djalo is a left-back, left-center back hybrid. So
Well,
what
that's
you're saying, because I believe Vlad has said it as well. Djalo played mostly on the left side. He can slide in on the right side with no problem. He's covered
he
all
isn't
the
all
positions.
along the back. Very versatile.
So what you're telling me is that there's another key to the puzzle of the conversion to a back four.
And you can see his heat map as well. Yes, he obviously prefers the left side, but this is the season heat map. So there's a couple little blips of red towards the right as well. So he does drift.
Oh boy. Sounds like he's going to be the left center back version of Gatti in a sense if he's healthy. So,
Perhaps.
hey, look, if Djalo is able to come in and beat Danilo for a starting position, there's nothing wrong with that. I got no issues with that. It's just, it's the way the game works. But from what it looks like, because if you look at, can you pull up Gatti's heat map? Because I'm very curious to see what his heat map looks. Because I'm similar, almost similar in style when you're looking at it from the field positioning. I'm not saying that they're the same player, but I'm saying they have the same tendencies to move. It's just Djalo gives that to you on the left. Weakness, discipline. That's funny. Yeah, you see Gatti's weakness, discipline. Can you go back to Djalo for me, my good sir?
Djalo was no outstanding weaknesses other than his knee.
Built different. Djalo built different. That's what it means. But look, I think from that position, I think it's a good ad. I really do think it's a good ad. Obviously, of course, we need to see whether or not he comes back from that ACL tear. But you got him for $3.5 million, and he's very young too. So it's like, that's a good transfer, man. That's a very good transfer, and essentially it cost you the money that Ranocchia gave you from being sold over to Palermo.
And Vlad's saying here, no way he beats Danilo. Danilo's the captain. Yes, he's also getting old.
I'm saying
Sandro's out.
Yeah, transitional piece, right?
Yeah, Sandro's out. He starts transitioning for Danilo, or however that setup is. But you're looking at Gatti. He's 25 now. Similar, starts to break out. Defenders, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more. So I think a 2-year plan with him is until he's like a starter. Assuming
I'd say 2 seasons.
Musters. But yeah, another couple years until he's a bona fide starter. Until then, he's a bit of a depth piece and just buying cheap. $3.5 million. Come on, because he's valued at 16. His contract was up at the end of the season. That's why he goes down, coming off an injury. So $3.5 million. This is a relatively
low risk.
From a purely business perspective. This is a low-risk gamble. You do have to make certain gambles, and this is one of those smart ones, in my opinion. I mean, I could look stupid because the guy can be a complete flop. He can be like...
But is a $3.5 million center back really a flop?
No, not, and that's the thing, not entirely. When you look at the overall budget, it's a very small percentage of that budget. If you lose $3.5 million,
no one's going to cry over it.
It sucks. But if you end up having just even a depth piece center back, like if it's a Rugani even, that stays for the next 10 years, that's a very good value.
The contract is team friendly. The transfer fee was team friendly. For me, this is an A deal. Like if I were to grade this, I would give this an A. And Mr. Antonio, we'll get to it.
Yeah,
Don't worry, guys. We'll get to the
we
predictions.
get to it, then we forget, and then we put it in the Discord.
All right. But look, I think it's going to be good. I think it's a great move. Obviously, I want to see some midfielder stuff going on, but I don't know. I mean, it's Mathis Pog that said it right for Lazar. Apparently, there's an agreement in principle with Juve and Lazar for the summer. If that's true, that means everybody else is SOL. The only question is, I think, is Juve willing to go make a move for him now? But I think Udinese want Hans Nicolucci. I think Juve don't want to release Hans to Udinese, but it'd be good if we could get Lazar. This would definitely help us for the month of January. But I don't know. It's the Lazar news, and even David said earlier, like, I don't think it's done. It's just all speculations right now. But there's a lot of stuff going to Lazar. I did say this on Discord. I said Djalo is going to be first, and then I think if anything happens with Lazar, it'll be happening right after we get Djalo, and Djalo's done. So it's only a matter of time before, in my opinion, I think we might see Lazar come to Juve before the end of January.
I don't know. Is it all smoke and mirrors? I'm really not sure because it flops so hard each day, left and right, yes and no. I'm kind of just giving up and just gonna see what happens at this point. I don't even know if I have an opinion. I'm just confused, and I'm gonna just chill out.
See, yeah, I know, right? And then now DiMarzio tweeted like 5 minutes ago, Allegri isn't convinced of any names on the midfield short list, so the negotiations to sign a midfielder have stopped.
Yes, and Vlad, that's a good point. We should bring that up. He played at Milan Primavera, so he's not completely foreign. Sorry, as I unwrap my cable around my dog's arm. He's not completely foreign to Italy. And I mean, France isn't entirely different culturally and all that jazz as well. Or Portugal for that matter, right? Where he's from. So, I think maybe not a horrible transition for him. It's not like he's, Tajon Buchanan getting served cold pancakes. This one's all right.
So there's that, and then I think the other news that broke like this morning or so with Nehemiah Matic as well.
Oh, Matic, yeah, that was.
I don't think
pissing in the wind.
Anything. Yeah, I think that one's just there.
He was offered, from what I understand, just like Henderson was offered. Apparently, we actually talked to his agents, from what I'm gathering. But it was like, okay, what kind of numbers are we looking at? It's probably the same with Matic. It was like, what kind of numbers? It was like, no, go screw yourself. And that was it. It was probably just a phone call. So, yeah, nothing there. What else you got in that transfer docket? There's not
really anything there, right? There's not really much.
Felipe Anderson, actually.
Oh, was that? So I saw that there was an agreement in principle with him as well for the summer.
So Juve have an agreement in principle to sign Felipe Anderson on a free transfer this summer. Gentoli is pushing hard for the deal and has offered him $4 million a season with a signing bonus included.
That's another throw that into the bucket of switching to a back four next season.
Yeah, this is one of the things. Lazio offered him a 3-year deal worth 3.5, but they're sticking to it, and I think Felipe's going shopping.
You think he is?
Well, if he knows the team's going to pay him $4.
I mean,
you telling me Felipe Anderson isn't looking at Lazio as a club, as a fan base, and being like, these guys over here want to pay me more, and that city is beautiful and they're not nuts.
They're not fascists.
Like, I think I might just go ahead and take this deal. Now, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what's in the head of Felipe Anderson. Maybe I'm distilling this way too much and it's way oversimplified, right? But at the end of the day, when a better team offers you more money, you typically take it. Insigne left Napoli to that shithole of Toronto. Why wouldn't Felipe Anderson do it?
Well, look, I mean, he's without a contract, so Lotito can't do anything, right? Felipe said, "Hey, 3.5. That's what I want."
Mhm.
Lotito's like, "No, I'm not giving it to you." And Juve's like, "Hey, we'll give you 4." Sold. Look, I
Straight up.
think, yeah. So Lotito can't really do anything to stop it, or it is what it is, right? I do think because 3.5 million a season, or what I think it's 4 million a season with bonuses included for his age and the position that he's playing with. I think that's a steal. Like, I really do think that's a steal.
It's 4-3-3-esque.
No, you want to know what I think it is?
And then you're gonna go on the very. I know. I will see. I
4-2-3-1.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do
It's a
that.
4-2-3-1.
I went 4-3-3 because it's like it can shift into those other ones. Basically, I'm not sure.
The issue that I have with that, right, with the 4-3-3, with what your squad makeup is right now, it leaves too much space, and it's just not a nice fluid.
I'm saying 4-3-3 as like a 4-2-1-3 or for all the variations, just like how we say 3-5-2 is a 3-1 or 3-4-1-2 or 3-1-4.
Formations, numbers.
A four at the back. I'm going with the 4 at the back, 3 at the front type of style.
So,
like
no, I got
triangle.
I got
that
you.
style. Yeah,
I got you. No, I got you. I do
general
think,
formation.
Yeah, I think the one iteration that I think is that they're pertinent in realizing is I think to get the best out of Dusan, you have to have him be the furthermost point of attack. So I think, and this is me, doing my best Paul Heyman, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. When you have Chiesa, Yildiz, and Felipe Anderson, or Timmy Weah, or Sule playing behind Dusan, I think that's going to open up the door for Dusan to essentially be a cheese master in a sense, where he's getting cheese goals. Because I don't care who you are in Serie A, when you have to scheme against Chiesa, Yildiz, Felipe Anderson, Sule, and I'm just projecting, right, who's going to potentially be in the roster. You might even throw Timmy Weah there as a right winger too. So who knows, right? So when you have all of those options coming at you, and then on top of that, you need to watch Dusan Vlahovic. That is going to be a very, very interesting offensive style of play next season.
Oh man, it's still so early. I feel like I'm being teased a little bit. It's way too early.
It could be, right? I like, for example, as Ellie's saying right here, it's like it could just be a thing for him to get Lazio to pay more money.
I'm not even saying specifically with Felipe. I'm saying moving the formation. Because I'm a fan of the 4-3-3 style. I've grown to like the 3-5-2. I used to hate it. But I at least appreciate it. Yeah, it's not great to watch. It really isn't, to be honest. But it works and it's very effective, and we've been winning, so I'm down.
But I do think though it's the next evolution to switch to that back four of this roster. Because now that they've understood the fundamentals of what they need to do and how they need to do it, now you can vary, now you can adjust, right? Because when Allegri came in, took the 3-5-2, switched it to a 4-4-2, then back to a 3-5-2 when all the old dogs left, Pirlo, Tevez, and Vidal left essentially and transitioned out. He had to go back to a 3-5-2 in 15-16 because outside of the back three, kind of a young raw squad in a sense. And then 16-17, Champions League final season, started off with a 3-5-2 and then transitioned the 3-5-2 to a 4-2-3-1. And then they started to really do stuff. And then the season after, for variational purposes, he switched from the 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. So I think Allegri's transitional style is he starts from a 3-5-2, moves to a 4-2-3-1, and then goes to a 4-3-3. So it's going to happen. I think for sure next season is last season. I think he's going to transition the squad into a back four. When, I don't know, but it's going to happen with the personnel that's lined up on the roster and with who's coming in and what's going through. It's going to happen. I think
we need to dash the Oracle soundbite.
It's going to happen. The only reason why, like, for example, Vincenzo says the 4-3-3. My only concern, because you're having Yildiz line up as a winger, I think you're more dangerous with Yildiz in the center of the pitch and orchestrating play from the center. I think that is Yildiz's best position, whether he's playing as a 9 instead of Dusan or if he's playing right behind Dusan. I think Yildiz, of course, I think Yildiz needs to put on some weight, get a little bit more beefier, because right now teams are going to scheme him by saying, hey, box him out and hit him. That's how you're going to stop him, which is true because he's 18. He's a small boy. He's a little boy. So I think that's going to be what's going to happen there. But don't be surprised if you see a 4-2-3-1 next season.
I'd be down for it. Who would not be down? That's probably easier. Who's not down for it?
Inter fans, because they're going to get
whatever. Screw those guys. Nobody likes them. So I think it's about damn time because we covered everything. Unless, I don't know, chat, let us know. Did we miss anything that we should talk about that anyone's interested in? Otherwise, we do need to get into Sassuolo.
I was going to do the presser first. If you want to do here, let me do the.
Do the presser. Yeah.
Let me knock this out quicker. All right, Massimiliano Allegri. Looking at the bigger picture as Juve seek to cut the Inter lead. All right, Juve can move up to 2 points of pace set as Inter Milan with a victory on Tuesday. Juventus coach Massimiliano Allegri insists that he's planning for the longer term as well as focusing as the present and is not concerned about silencing his critics. Allegri's informed side can cut the gap between Serie A leaders Inter Milan. Should have did a Jimmy Carragher. Damn, that would have been funny. I can't do his accent. Back to 2 points with the victory at home against Sassuolo on Thursday night. Juve have gone 3 seasons without mounting, that's what she said, a sustained title challenge for the Serie A title since being crowned champions for the 9th time in 1920. But Allegri does not share some fans' obsessions with reclaiming the crown this season, pointing out there's still a little much work to do just to secure a top 4 finish. He told the press conference, we spoke as a team, and we don't know that we're still missing a lot of things to reach our goal of Champions League qualification. We're taking things one step at a time. So tomorrow we have Sassuolo, and then we'll think about Lecce. We need to avoid making long-term predictions, and it's better to stay focused on the short term. I think I am not thinking about whether or not I've won the fans back on my side. You kind of have, kind of haven't. We're doing well because the guys who go out in the pitch and win matches, everybody around the team does our best to put the team in the best place to go, and we can do just that. There are 2 big differences between ourselves and Inter. First, they're a team built to win the Scudetto, which is not wrong. We started off on a different path, and we have to keep working without the obsession of winning the Scudetto. So this is interesting, right? This is a good quote. He's saying we just need to focus it, take it one game at a time, stop thinking about the Scudetto, just think about who's in front of you, play who's in front of you. That's normal coach speak, that what you do there that helps alleviate pressure off your players. Because if he comes out there and says Scudetto this, Scudetto this, Scudetto, 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 it mounts on the players. They're like, fuck, we got to perform, we got to perform, we got to perform. Where it's just like Allegri's kind of taking it to a micro scale. Beat Sassuolo.
That's it.
Beat
this team today.
Beat this guy, and then we'll look at it later.
It's working.
I think it's a masterclass on his part when it comes to really alleviating pressure from his team. Because he's saying right here, like, we need to work without obsessing over winning the title. He's like, we're not there yet. We're not at that point to do the killing stroke. We're Juventus. We have to do our very best, but football doesn't end on May 25th.
Basically saying there's more seasons ahead.
We also have to think that the seasons to come from this group of players, Allegri and Juve, will be without suspended defender Federico Gatti. Confirmed that both Rabiot and Chiesa are back, which is a huge plus there. Italy striker Moise Kean has not featured since December and is continuing to work his way back from leg injury and kicking start his rap career. The Bianconeri earned a bidding war to extend their unbeaten run to 15 matches, 17 in all competitions, but lost for the only time in the league against Sassuolo, which is interesting. The group has worked well, and as always, in the last few days, we know the importance of tomorrow's game. We had a bad night the first time against Sassuolo, and we know we're coming up against a good team. 3 points up for grab tomorrow, and it's important how we will be very careful tactically. Sassuolo are dangerous if you make mistakes, so we'll have to be switched on, he says. End quote.
Absolutely. They will have to be switched on because they do have a couple of attacking threats. Your famous 4-2-3-1 here from Sassuolo.
It's a dangerous it's a dangerous formation, right? You're gonna have to watch out for 2 players, obviously, Berardi and Llorente. First game, Llorente really cooked us on that right side.
He's a quick one. He's not the most clinical, but he'll cook you.
Yeah, he's very quick, pacey, has a very good shot on him, can spread you out wide on that right side. He skinned Gatti the first time around. That really went through him. Berardi, you know what you're going to get from Berardi. Berardi's always going to be dangerous from that left peripheral of the field, can cut in, can take a shot. Definition of an inverted winger, right? So Berardi is always dangerous. Pinamonti can tend to get some cheese goals in a sense, so obviously you got to be careful for him. But yeah, I know Sassuolo haven't been in the greatest form this season. They've been kind of hot and cold, right? Where it's like they drew against Udinese, they lost to Genoa, lost to Milan, lost to Atalanta, then they beat Fiorentina. So they are, again, you could technically say they're in a relegation battle because Hellas Verona has 17, they have 19 points.
Oh yeah, they're not far away.
So right now with Frosinone, Sassuolo, Udinese, and Hellas Verona, there's going to be, these teams are not going to be easy to play against. I'm just going to tell you guys this. Yes, we're at home. Would I love us to win 2-3-0? No. Or yeah, I was about to say no. I want 1-0 wins. As much as I would like to see this, right now, these are games where you just need to win. Relegation teams, you just need to win. On the latter half of the season, you just need to win. First half of the season, you can get away with a lot of things because teams are still trying to feel out where they are and what they're doing. But at the end of the day, you need to just go in there, get it done, just win, get the 2 points. Don't focus about Inter and their 5-1 wins or the referee this, referee bullshit. Just play who's in front of you. Go at it from that perspective, and you'll be fine. You have the quality to beat Sassuolo, even though they are the only team that's beaten both us and you know who.
But we're home tomorrow, and see, we have to be careful not to be afraid. I hope the players aren't afraid. I am, but I hope they're not, because that can go bad.
I think it's a trap game. It's a trap game because they went to Inter and they beat them. Because Inter was like, look at these goobers, Juve lost, ha ha ha, and then like right after, oh shit.
Yeah.
Sassuolo's a trap game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I completely feel tomorrow, but absolutely Berardi, Llorente, you're gonna have to watch out for him. I don't know how Ferrari has found another team. He just keeps on. He's everywhere. This guy. But he's playing there. 31 now. Pinamonti is.
You want to know the player that fears me the most? It's their goalkeeper, Consigli.
He's gonna be prime Buffon.
Whenever he plays Juve, he turns into a prime Gigi Buffon. I don't know why. Can anyone find me like some article apparently where Juve like snubbed him or something like that, and he's had like some vengeful spite towards Juve for his entire career? Because every time we play against this guy, it turns into something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, what is the prediction then? Because I'm so apprehensive still on this one. I've been, it's my boogeyman for the season.
I think 1-0.
It's just a 1-0, eh? Y'all be happy to note that it is not raining tomorrow. But it is overcast, 6 degrees. The only
warmer than it is here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be like minus 24 or something tomorrow. Ugh, gross. But so just a normal overcast day. See how that goes. So no excuses, no wet balls, no tech mistakes.
Oh, wet balls.
No wet balls. Everyone's coming in with the 1-0. I'm gonna go. I'll go 2-1. And then those goals are gonna come from Yildiz
Okay.
and Yildiz brace.
Yildiz and Yildiz.
Yeah,
That's your Yildiz and Yildiz.
yeah, it's a Yildiz brace.
Okay.
And then Loriente for Sassuolo. There it is. That's my prediction.
Well, you're just sitting there like,
I don't like it. I don't feel good.
2-1.
I really don't. Usually, I usually just throw this stuff out. I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. This is what's happening today. No, I'm not liking it.
Yeah, I've never seen you so apprehensive for a pregame before. I'm not gonna lie. We've had some we've worked together for what, 2 years at this point now, and we've had some very apprehensive games, and you've just been like, yeah, let's go 2-1, fucking Doosan, hand smash. Dave smash, hand, Dave the strongest there is. We've had that, and then today the Sassuolo Dave's like, yeah, yield this for the first one, and then yield this for the second one, and then Dave for the one. It's I guess I need to be the robot here. I need to come in like Arnold. I'm going to say Juventus are going to do the Cotomuso of the 1-0 because it is going to be a beefcake of a show. Bremer with an absolute header. He is going to hit them harder with a header into the net. And then it's going to be good defense from the Rugani and the Danilos of the world. So it is going to be there. And then Allegri, after he gets the 3 points, is going to say, get to the chopper. Wow. I haven't done Arnold in a while.
Jeez. We had those sound effects.
We have the sound bites. I just felt like saying them. I'm waiting for David. I'm waiting for him.
Go! Get to the chopper!
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. See, I'm waiting for Dave to just sit there and be like, that is an absolute butcher of Arnold. Do better. It's only a matter of time. And he says, Vlad.
Arnold's Austrian, though.
Well, he's Austrian, but famous throughout that entire region, Germany and Austria.
Not like Hasselhoff.
Oh, David Hasselhoff. Well, I mean, whew. He is a stud.
David, who is more famous in Germany, the Austrian or the German? You let us know. I want to hear straight from you.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Well,
who is your daddy?
Wait, I finished a post.
Do?
Just going through all of them now.
Just
wait a minute. Just way to make it awkward for everyone.
I know, I had to.
Both are a laughing stock, but Arnold is more known, I think. Okay.
Oh boy. So I think obviously tactically the one thing Juve need to do is Sassuolo are going to try to hit them on the counter. There's not really that much build-up play that Dionisi does. Dionisi is not De Zerbi, and for anyone, quite frankly, don't be De Zerbi because that means you will amount to absolutely nothing in your career.
Oh man, just the hate continues.
It's like being petty. So look, I think that's going to be one of the things Juve just need to make sure that Sassuolo don't catch him out on the counterattacks, and you're good, and make sure that Tech wears super glue on his gloves, and you should win.
You should. You said that a few months
I
ago.
think that's what it is, right? I did think the result that kind of surprised me the most on the weekend was Udinese Fiorentina. I thought that was an interesting match because I got to give credit to Italiano. He went down twice that game, found a way to equalize both times. Yeah.
I do have to give it to Italiano for that one. That one was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was okay for him. The one thing that I found ironic was Milan and Roma. Milan just ran through him.
Yeah. Which is crazy because Milan is being kind of hit. Yeah, I get with the injuries, but to just show up to Roma now, of course, talk is about fighting Mourinho. So
he's done nothing. He hasn't improved that squad at all.
Who are they going to bring in? Look at Napoli. Who are they going to bring in at this point, though? Just finish the season. Who's going to be less worse than Mourinho right now?
I don't know. They have a goalkeeping issue. So Vlad wants to know who the predictions are for finishing 4th.
Go back to our video. I don't know. I can't remember. Actually, I think I wrote them down.
I did. So mine was I did Juve, Inter, AC Milan, and Napoli is my 4th. So Napoli was my 4th.
Where the hell did it go?
Then I had Atalanta, Lazio, and then Fiorentina.
Okay, I have Juve and Napoli, Inter, Milan. So Milan was 4th.
So we're technically 3 out of the 4. It's just Napoli decided to take an absolute dog shit and completely fall off a cliff.
Now, what I am...
or would you say Napoli fell off a cliff, or they returned back to where they're supposed to be?
Oh, they're just normal. They're normal again. What I am doing... Oh no, I thought I had Salernitana. I don't.
Oh, he wants to know. He wants to know our mid-season if we're adjusting it. So I think I'm fine with keeping Inter, Juve, and Milan in the top 4. I think maybe. So
the Inter, Juve, Milan are the top 3. I think it's clear at this point that it's those 3, and then there's the rest of Serie A.
Yeah, there's no nothing, because, like, for example, Milan has 42 and then 4th place has 34.
I can see though why number 4 is really what the question is. Who is the best of the rest? I feel like it's F1 right now. Who's the best? Not Max Verstappen.
I know it's essentially what this is, right? We're watching the other 2 pole positions. So right now it's a 4-team race. I want to say 4. No, because I'd have to include Napoli, because that would be disingenuous of me. Because Fiorentina with 34, Atalanta with 33, Lazio with 33, Bologna with 32, Napoli with 31, and then Roma in 9th with 29 points.
Yeah, I can't see Roma clawing back, really. I can't see Napoli.
2 favorites.
Honestly.
You've got 2 favorites right now. Lazio becomes a favorite because they've turned it around. Sarri's Bulls have finally dropped. So they're there. Then the second one, I am going to give the nod to Fiorentina. They're finding ways to secure points.
Yeah, and that is important. It may not be the prettiest.
Defensively, they are tied with all the other teams in the race. Because Fiorentina defensively used to have an issue, right? They were not good defensively. So Fiorentina have scored 29, conceded 21. Atalanta scored 35, conceded 21. Lazio scored 24, conceded 20. Bologna scored 23, conceded 18, so they actually have a better defensive record, but I think right now they're going to struggle because they have some injury and suspension issues. And then Napoli scored 30, conceded 25.
Well, if you look at the last 5, I suppose I can just share the Google screen, just to kind of get the present form, if you will, right? So out of all of these, and who we're talking about, I look at Lazio, and the last 4 are wins, where everyone else is kind of all over the place, right? So Lazio, if they continue that form, they can very well be that 4th place team and just continue with that consistency.
Oh, yeah.
Fiorentina, they're grinding them out though, which is kind of like
it's off character.
Place. It's a 4th place team though, to just like grind out those.
Yeah, no, for sure, but it's off character by Fiorentina because nobody expects Fiorentina to be able to grind out results. And
but then Bologna, nobody expect them, but they fell off. I think Fiorentina are better than that though.
I do think so too, right? Because Bologna's issue is they don't have proper depth because, again, they're not built for this.
No, they're not built to be up this high.
No, they're not. They're the elephant in the tree. I do think, that's credit to Motta for getting things to work. But I said this before. I said this is going to be the real test of Motta's mettle as a coach, because you have suspensions, you have injuries. So that means you don't have the guys that you're relying on. Can you adjust? And right now, he has not adjusted quite well. They have not won in 4 games. Do I think, it's completely fallen off the wagon and he's going to flop? And no, not at all. But this is going to be, because, look, the last time they did anything was a 1-0 win against Atalanta, and then they lost 3-0 to Udinese, tied with Genoa, tied with Fiorentina, and Cagliari, they lost 2-1.
So on that, it
So
makes
moral
it
of the
extremely
story,
hard to figure out who's gonna hit this fourth
if
goal.
IFTV posts a picture of you, you guarantee you the opposite's going to happen to you, because I've kept tabs. Everything that they've praised or like went off the moon for have completely tanked after.
When was the last time they did something on Gasparini?
They have not done anything
Okay,
yet.
Gasparini fourth place.
So no, yeah. So here's the funny thing about it. So when Lazio won over the weekend, they made a post dedicated to Lazio. So Maurizio Sarri has turned his season around. So expect Lazio to fall off now. I think it's the IFTV curse. It's the thing.
Oh no, it's totally Atalanta. There it
It's
is.
it's
Gasparini.
it's the IFTV
No.
Twitter curse.
IFTV. Don't mention Gasparini.
Stop making predictions. Stop
Because
making
I'm okay with
predictions or anything.
Atalanta. Because Atalanta's the hipster squad that you can like, even though you shouldn't.
I'm like terrified whenever if or whenever they post anything about Juve. That's what freaks me out more. I hope they don't, because ever since they stopped posting about us, good things have been happened.
Why do they always have to come up every show? The movie quotes are okay, but IFTV, I don't know.
It's just no one likes just a lot of people don't like them anymore. That's why whoever runs their social media is just terrible.
The Kardashian curse.
I think it's evolved into it. It's just the
Calcio
curse.
In a 1-versus-1 duel between the
Drake and oh my goodness. Okay,
is there something good Drake? I'm thinking just like the rapper Drake.
Yeah, the rapper, the rapper,
the rapper Drake. Okay,
the rapper Drake. The rapper Drake. So whenever Drake would wear a jersey of a team that's in a final, the other team would win.
Well, Toronto did eventually win, but he wasn't wearing a jersey that night, was he?
Yeah, because he stopped because of the curse.
Yeah, that's right.
So the latest,
I think Drake would bring a bunch of his friends, and it wouldn't be 1-on-1 anymore. I'm not saying it's fair, but that's what would happen. So Drake would win.
So I think the last tweet that they did was Lautaro Martinez appreciation tweet, and then they did an Allegri tweet where they said Inter have a team for the Scudetto. So it wasn't really any. So for the IFTV curse, how it works is whenever they praise something, right? They'll say, "Oh my gosh, Lautaro is this," or "Thiago Motta is this." The complete opposite happens. So I don't think they've done anything recently yet, because they're just quoting pressers and stuff. So it doesn't. Oh, wait, nope, just kidding. So 9 hours ago, they tweeted, Hakan Çalhanoğlu is the second best midfielder in the world after Rodri.
After Rodri. So they're claiming two things in that, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would contest both those names.
So if Çalhanoğlu starts playing like shit, you know why.
He did have a good weekend. Let's be honest. He has performed well throughout the season. I'm not going to take that away from him.
Yes.
But the IFTV curse has been inflicted on him. So good luck, buddy.
And then and then 1 day ago, they said Lazio have completely turned their season around. Second place in October. Or 16th place in October, and now they're tied on points for fourth place temporarily. Sarri finally found his rhythm. So those are going to be.
We played like 5 games by October, like.
So, yeah, look, I'm just saying 3 things to keep your eyes out for: Lautaro going into a drought, Çalhanoğlu's performance dropping off, and Maurizio Sarri dropping off.
Go to Tijuana. Very nice. That's the only place in Mexico that I've been, because I spent a night in San Francisco and I took the train to the Plywood Wall and crossed it.
I'm convinced people are convinced that Dave works for the CIA because he just goes to some random locations across the world.
San Diego's a great city. You should definitely go. Have you gone?
Yeah, I've gone to San Diego.
You say, like, I don't know. Most people don't leave their hometown. I don't know where you've been.
Or have I?
CIA. Why would it be the CIA? I'm Canadian. Why would I work with?
Why wouldn't you be? That's like the most easy way to make a cover story. Everyone's like, Dave's a Canadian. What do you mean he's some kind of international spy?
Everyone trusts a Canadian.
He's an aviation mechanic. Well, come on, this guy's some international super spy, and then Dave comes here. I'm about to bob your uncle there, mate.
Don't you think that's why I mean places? Because aviation flies places. So
Exactly. It's a
fly
perfect
with
cover.
things?
It's a perfect cover story. They're like, Dave's flying
Okay.
over here. He's an aviation mechanic. He's fixing helicopters. In reality, he's fixing you know what's all over the place.
Yeah,
Come on. That's like the most he's taking care of the folks. He's taking care of people in a pinch. But like, come on, let's be honest here. Like, he's Italian and he's an aviation mechanic. Boom. CIA confirmed.
How
Dave's
about the
CIA agent.
fact that I like blow my cover all over the internet, or is that part of the cover as well?
It is part of the CIA agents are the people that you sit there and you're like, there's no way that this guy's a secret agent. That guy's an absolute goober. And then reality, just like, shit hits the fan. He pulls out a 45, just pew, 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 pew. And it's just like, what? David, aviation mechanic.
Yeah. And see, and this is where I kind of prove you wrong, because a 45 doesn't go pew, pew, pew. I am a gun nerd. You know I'm a gun nerd.
You want to
I
know
just
why?
don't talk about it
because he works for the CIA. Because he works for the CIA. Oh man, if I disappear tomorrow, you guys know why. Jesus, mechanic boy, I'm going to drop.
That
my
one is weird.
MH370.
MH370 is a weird one though, because there's a lot of sensors that don't just turn off in an aircraft that were turned off. And you need to have a very intimate knowledge of the aircraft. And they don't put these things in the cockpit because they don't want them to happen. You have to go down into like the bays underneath the aircraft to turn these things off. So yes, MH370 is a weird one. There's something up with that. But anyways, that's for the Alex Jones channel and the Discord.
Which, if you haven't joined it, you should probably join it.
Yeah, scan that thing right there, right by my hat.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah,
scan it up, or hit the link in the description.
The other thing too, I don't know if you guys have seen it on Instagram or Twitter. I believe the OG Turin Giants hoodies are restocking in the next few days. So if you want one, you can go buy one. I believe it takes forever to get to you, but yeah. I think they're back, even though the post.
Yeah, they're not officially back. They're on their way. There's a picture of it.
There's a picture of it, and it's coming back.
They exist in a warehouse somewhere at this
just
point.
like the January 6th episode that we never got. But anyways, I digress. Those are coming back. I don't know when, but they're coming back. So if you guys,
I hope so, because I do kind of want one.
Yeah, we've been trying to.
I don't even get one.
I know we don't even have one.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, there you can check that out. I think. What else we got to cover? Some housekeeping shit. So make sure you like, and if you're new here, subscribe. Also, we've got Sassulolo on Tuesday, Tinfoil Hat Show on Wednesday, and then we got a call-in show / pregame show on Saturday because you play Lecce on Sunday, which sucks.
Yeah, so we have two double header type. So Wednesday is going to be a post-game /
call-in show.
Tinfoil.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is going to be call-in /
I said call-in instead of tinfoil. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Oh, look, he finally shows up, this guy.
Look at these nerds.
Or the real reasons why the 737 MAX is crashed. Because Boeing shot the bed. They got a bunch of rich white dudes running their company, and they just been jerking off in the boardroom instead of building aircraft. That's my take, anyways.
It's crazy how one of the bullets fell through the guy's house entirely, just like a hole from the doors of the Boeings.
I didn't actually see that one.
Yeah, so the one I
heard about
the plane about the Alaskan Airlines plane where the door just kind of said, "Fuck it, I'm not working anymore."
Yeah.
So apparently, the bolt, like some of the bolts that were holding it, fell down and went through some dude's house and just missed him by a little bit. Like,
oh wow.
Like those bolts coming down, like
terminal velocity, man.
Yeah, it's practically a bullet.
Yeah, it is. It pretty much is. It's wild.
You're like, what the fuck? I got shot. And the funny thing about it was because it sucked out some iPhones, so like people found iPhones on the ground, just like random iPhones on the ground that ended up being some of the people who were on that plane too.
Oh, wow. Did they still work?
I would doubt it.
Because I would have heard it. If the iPhone still worked, you can just see like Tim Cook just like, they don't suck. They don't suck. Look at them.
They don't suck. They fell 16,000 feet and we're perfectly fine. Buy yourself a goddamn iPhone instead of that Samsung shit because ours can take terminal velocity. Yeah.
I got pissed. I gotta get this off my chest. So I went to one of these puppy channels. We do puppy things too, me and my wife, right? So we know this. And I was watching this short, and no, it was just one of those community posts, and it's like just making fun of how everyone who has a dog doesn't have any memory left on their phone because they always take pictures of their dogs. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. Have you guys not heard of the cloud?
The clout?
The cloud. Put that shit on the internet. Like, and the people in the comments like, oh yeah, I totally just bought an $1,800 new phone because I needed more memory to take dog pictures. I'm like, oh my God, how dumb are you? There's a cloud. Upload the bitch. Save yourself $1,800.
And by bitch, he does not mean the female dog. He means the actual pictures.
It was like, oh my God, people are dumb. Yeah. Apple. Goat. Shove it up a goat's ass. Cat people. I have cats too. But like cat people are. Yeah.
Oh man. Whew.
All right.
Meh.
It's only a matter of time till I ranted. So there it is.
No, it's fine. It's okay. We've gotten past an hour. We dicked around enough. Alrighty. So folks, if you have anything you want Dave and myself to react to, go on to the Discord, slap it into the Wednesday show channel. We can talk about anything and everything. Apple, cats, dogs, tunnels, the whole works. We can talk about it all and we'll have some fun with it. On that note, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. I'm waiting for the music, and there's the music. We'll catch you tomorrow on the watch along. Not weird, but we're coming in hot because we're coming in straight from work. So there, and yes, you only get 15 gigs on Google Drive because Google Drive sucks. And on that note, guys, we will catch you tomorrow on the watch along.
I'm pretty sure you cut out a bunch through that too. Funny enough, the beginning and the end of this the show, but
why?
Why?
You know, what is going on with StreamYard?
Doesn't matter. See you tomorrow. Dash promises he'll sort his shit out. It's okay.
It's not my fault. It's just the service itself.
All right, guys. Good night.
God.
Thanks for joining in.